Oh, hi, Mena.
Hello there.
Oh, hi, CJ. Oh, and hi to you too. Thanks for coming to learn how to feel your best self with us.
Together, we're going to learn all about feelings.
I know I have a lot of big feelings.
Yes, I do as well.
We all have a lot of big feelings because there's so many feelings we can feel. Sometimes our feelings are really heavy, and sometimes they feel light, and sometimes they can feel right there in the middle, not too heavy and not too light.
Heavy and light?
Yeah, I'm not sure I know what you mean, Mena.
Well, it's like if I lost my lucky pencil, I would feel really heavy. I would feel super sad and mad, like a backpack full of heavy books weighing me down.
Oh, I see. So heavy feelings can be like really sad or mad. What about scared?
Right.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Claire Brewington, and I'm in the studio with the creator of those wonderful characters. If you were wondering, this is a little different format from what we usually have. We thought that without giving you any prompts and without telling you what we're doing, we thought you should be introduced to these fabulous CJ, Nico, and Mena characters. And here we have the creator, Sandy. So Sandy, welcome to Discover Brightside, where we discover everything new and exciting. And tell me a little bit about yourself and how did you get on this journey to create these characters?
Sure. So first, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation. The second thing I want to say is that I'm not the sole creator. There's a whole team behind all of the things that we're going to talk about today. And I think I want to get into some of that story a little bit. So for me, I am not a puppet creator. I'm a school psychologist by background. I've worked with kids and their families and their different caregivers and educators in different settings for a really long time. We won't talk about how long that is. In supporting emotional health, right? How do you take those really big feelings and what do you do with those feelings? You know, sometimes those feelings are great and we need to have those big feelings. And sometimes maybe we need to do some shifting or we need to do something else in place that helps us be a bit better in our coping and how we're doing that. And that's really what Feel Your Best Self is all about.
Yeah, I think it's amazing because as children really need a little bit of confidence and a coping mechanism. So tell us about these storybooks and these tools. And I see that it's going to educators as well as kids at home. So how does it all work?
Yeah, it works however you want it to work is what we like to say, but maybe just to give you a little background as to how we started it could be helpful. My partner, Emily Wicks, is my co-creator. She's with the Ballard Institute and Museum of Puppetry. So her world is all about puppetry education. I'm all about educational psychology. We got together during the pandemic because we were worried about the emotional challenges that everyone was facing. And we were trying to come up with simple solutions, simple and really fun, joyful solutions as schools were reopening and kids were coming back into these worlds. And that's where the Feel Your Best Self pilot started, with really little rudimentary opportunities for us to go into classrooms or actually be on Zoom in some cases, because we weren't allowed in classrooms, and teach these very simple coping strategies that my team in educational psychology had kind of collected and collated from looking at all the evidence. So we created this beginning toolkit, I guess I would say, and then it just it took off like faster and bigger than we could possibly ever have imagined, so that we were able to develop a fully accessible toolkit with lots and lots of materials. These videos, such as the example that you just saw, are less than 5 minutes each, and showing how these really lovable characters can teach a simple strategy to help you identify when you're not feeling your best self. Is there something that I could try to shift?
Yeah.
You have 12 of those options because not every strategy is going to work for every person, right? You got to find the ones that work for you.
Yeah.
So that's the background behind it. The storybooks associated with what you see on our website that was by accident or by user demand, I guess I should say. We heard from we heard from particularly early educators, early childhood educators and teachers that the videos are great, but we don't always want to watch a video. Sometimes we want a physical book to use in morning meetings or in a calming corner or reading at home, whatever that might be. So the storybooks are taken or adapted from the videos. Scripts were changed and the language was modified, but the core content of the strategy and the story theme that you're learning is intact in each of the books. And we have one for each of the 12 strategies.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And so, yeah, now we are on this mission to teach children to read more.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we are pioneering. So what advice would you give to parents and caregivers, to get kids to read more, more activities, that parents and kids and schools and everywhere around work with children? Because I think that's another part of it, that you can't just leave a child with a book and expect them to read it on their own.
No. I mean, yes, if they're
we want the whole thing,
right?
yeah.
You have to find the right match. But a couple of things come to mind in my prior life. Actually, my research was in early reading, and a couple of things are sticking out in my head to share with you. One is the idea of modeling reading. So a long time ago, I had done a study with some colleagues that showed during the quiet reading time in a classroom, when the teacher chooses a book and models reading, describes, why do I want to read this book? What's interesting about this book? And sits down and reads parallel to the child, you can find tremendous increases in engagement in reading by the kids. So the idea of modeling is really important.
I agree. So any organizations or any, programs that you are involved with that, you want to tell our viewers about, or any initiatives that you have that anyone on Facebook or Instagram can engage with your program or anything?
Yeah, so the cool thing about Feel Your Best Self is that we do have most of the materials are accessible online. You can find the videos on YouTube. You can find the strategy cards that show the steps in each of the strategies all online, and you can watch them wherever you go, whenever you want. If you want to add the storybooks into your life, you're able to purchase them on our website, but you don't have to, but you can if that's what you want to do. And what I like about the books is that it is a fun, as you said, engaging with our characters book, but it's also a learning tool for reading, and it's built to be accessible to all ages and abilities. So if you notice in some of at the ends of the books, and I can share one of them if you'd like to see it, the strategy card is presented at the end. So here, let's see if we can see this here. So you see here, I'm going to have to take my background off.
Stay there. Yes.
You see the steps to, this is a strategy called Float Your Boat. So you have very simple words, and then you have little icons that show those steps. And then the book is built so that you have discussion. So it might say, why did CJ do this in the video? How might you use Float Your Boat? Or can you identify a time when you felt stormy or scared about something new? So that's at the end of each of the books, which is a lovely way to kind of complement reading the strategy in a fun, reading the story in a fun way to learn about the strategy. And in Float Your Boat in particular, CJ is nervous about being in dance class and trying to meet somebody new. We've all felt that, right? Even doing this interview, you can feel nervous about something like that. So what might he do to kind of float his boat, get the heavy rocks and those heavy feelings and make them lighter? And that's what it's all about.
Oh, I love it. I love the characters. I love it. And then the future, where do you think this is going?
Well, we certainly hope to continue the global dissemination of these strategies, because that is the core of our mission. Certainly, we want to support a whole child, which includes building good readers, right? Building strong readers and kids that are interested in things that we're learning in school, but kids that are also emotionally healthy, physically healthy, and all those great things that can feed or impact some of that. So we want to continue our global reach. We intend to create additional products to support the use of the Feel Your Best Self strategies. One of the things that we've done, and I can kind of share our puppet making. So this is one of the activities that we might do in family events or in schools, is we have kids build their own fun sock puppet that they then have as a friend to practice those strategies with on their own. So there are lots of ways to bring creativity and joy into learning about reading and about emotional health. And I think that's what we're all about.
Yeah, I love it. So thank you for joining us, and keep up the good work. And we hope that educators around, who I know everyone now is focusing on virtual classrooms as well as in person, because we're getting back to regular schedules. And especially for people who are homeschooling, this might be what you want to do. So thank you for watching us. And you're watching Brightside, Discover Brightside, where we discover new things. And we hope you learned something new and interesting. And join us again. Thank you for watching, and write us a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.